In the previous video, we have seen that the three types of protected areas are sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, and national parks. What do you think is the difference between these three protected areas? They are all meant to save biodiversity, that's right. Let us look at what distinguishes one from the other. Firstly, national parks. What does the very term hint at? National would mean involvement of the government authorities and park would mean some amount of recreation. That's precisely what these are. National parks are areas that have interesting and rich flora and fauna. They also have a lot of natural, geomorphological and ecological significance. By this we mean huge mountains, lakes, rivers, medicinal trees and many more factors. This park area is marked by the government. What is its main aim? It is to protect and develop the wildlife or its environment. Does that mean the people living in this area are displaced? Of course not. People who have their homes continue to live here, but there are strict rules and regulations to be followed by them. All kinds of human activities that damage the environment are prohibited in the national park. Which activities are we talking about? Cultivation, hunting, forestry, grazing, encroachment and habitat destruction are strongly prohibited. If people living here require procuring of any forest produce, they need to ask the relevant authorities. How can this area then be called a park? Well, that's because the government allows recreational activities for people like us. Camping and other activities are designed to help educate people about the need for conservation. These parks act like an awareness arenas for common people. The question is, can the government declare any area as a national park? Yes, it can. Do you know when the first national park was set up in India? It was way back in 1936 by the name Haley National Park, which is now popularly known as Jim Corbett National Park. Did you know, as of July 2015, there are 103 national parks in India encompassing a whopping area of 40,500 square kilometers? Isn't that amazing? Now that you know what a national park is, let us look at the idea of wildlife sanctuary. The name itself tells you that this type of area concentrates its attention to the wildlife in it. What do we mean by sanctuary? The word sanctuary means a refuge. It is a place where animals find both shelter and protection. Which animals do you think will need such kind of protection? The endangered animal species. They are the ones that are threatened by humans or other factors. Can you name one? Tigers. Yes, the project Save Tigers was a massive movement in India. India has 537 wildlife sanctuaries, out of which 50 are tiger reserves governed by Project Tiger. Wildlife sanctuaries protect these animals from being poached or hunted. What about the people and their activities in these areas? Unlike national parks, wildlife sanctuaries allow activities like timber collection and collection of forest products. And these require prior permission as well. Now that we know two types of protected areas, let us study the third and the most interesting one in our next video. It's called a biosphere reserve.